who should we start with, the Aussie or the Kiwi? Last year it was two Kiwis, which was, a bit boring, really. And now we've got an Aussie. J-Dub, I'm going to start with the race win tally, Australia, New Zealand. What are we up to now? 19-2. 19-2. How do you feel about the National Australian Championship being dominated 19-2? You've contributed 1-2, by the way, just to make sure you know that.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for the warm welcome, Murph. I really appreciate that. You guys love it over here. What can I say to that? We're pretty competitive back at home, but of course the rivalry isn't as strong back there as what it is here. I know you guys keep a count, always get a podium photo when it's all 1, 2, 3. But no. At the end of the day, the Kiwis are doing a fantastic job. Although we're all one big family, they've certainly dominated this year. Fab's teammate in particular has done a very good job. But hey, we're looking forward to being here in a couple of weeks. They tell me it's normally cold and wet this time of year, but it doesn't sort of look like it today. But I believe while the race meeting in a couple of weeks is going to be fantastic, we're also looking forward to having it back in. Is it April? Back in April, yeah, for Anzac Day weekend. I think that's a special day. It's fitting, and so yeah, I think that's a good change in the category for the calendar next year.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm about to say bullshit. So that answer, you skirted around the edges of it, right? And you gave me nothing there. Tell the honest truth. You want to win some more races and you want to be up the front there, taking it away. You're going to come back here in a couple of weeks and, mate, full of Kiwis. You can't tell me that the best thing that could possibly happen is you standing on top of the podium going, ha ha! Aussie winning on Kiwi soil. Come on, tell me the truth.
Well, firstly, everything that comes out of my mouth is the truth, so I don't need to say to tell you the truth now. Of course, we had a fantastic run for many years. In particular, our team, we had very fast cars and did a lot of winning. But we're very realistic that doesn't happen forever. You can't be on top forever. So. Fab, Scotty, and the whole DJ Penske team are doing a bloody good job. At the end of the day, they're doing a very good job, and they've raised the bar, which for us is, it's a bit painful at the moment because we're not the quickest cars, but at the same time, we're looking forward to the challenge and trying to bridge the gap back in. We've made a big step in the last few months. We're slowly getting there. But if you talk to everyone around pit lane, they're all talking about how can we slow people down? How can we slow the guys at the front down? But I'm completely against that. We don't want to slow anyone down. It's a responsibility of everyone else to step up and make a race of it. So that's our motivation at the moment to make our cars faster. Me and SVG do a better job behind the wheel and stay on the track. We didn't stay on the track very often at Tail and Bend, so we'll do a better job at doing that, and hopefully we can have some good results in a couple of weeks.
All right, that's a decent answer. And you don't usually bullshit either. You're a pretty truthful kind of guy. Fabs, you've contributed to the tally, the New Zealand tally, albeit it is a little lopsided with your other speedy Kiwi mate. But in a couple of weeks' time. Be a lot of people here, standing up on the seats on the grandstands around the place supporting you guys. Tell us about how that does actually, lift and drive you and create, that little bit of an advantage.
It's just the simple things like you walk into the racetrack and you see all the fans and they just wish you luck and say good luck, hope you have a good weekend and things like that. It's just those simple things that shows you that there's a huge Kiwi presence. We go to Australian races and it's heavily supported by Australian people, so I'm sure they get that at a lot of events. But we get it one event a year, and it's this one. So we look forward to coming home. It's it's a special race. It's a track that's got a lot of history. The track's got a lot of character, and it's a lot of fun to go out there and do a lap around here. So the fans are close proximity to the edge of the track. That's pretty rare. So they get a great spectacle as well. So it's a lot of fun.
J-Dub mentioned there a second ago about the fact that you've got some good toys to play with, as have everybody, and they, he doesn't want to slow people down. He wants them to lift and find a way to move forward. Been a lot of talk this year, the introduction of the Mustang, which was huge for the sport, great for the category as a whole, regardless if you're a Holden or a Ford fan. It's been a fantastic addition. It's been a speedy bit of kit out the gate. How do you feel about the fact that, what he says about that, and then obviously a lot of talk about the fact that you've got this massive advantage, the cars, the cars, that, all that kind of stuff. You guys are still going about your job trying to, get even faster and, be more consistent. But, how have you guys taken that, and what's sort of the team's response to, some of that conjecture?
I think in the last couple of rounds, if you've seen my car, it doesn't drive itself. So, we really need to still be on top of our game. Ludo's very smart. The way Scott drives the car suits that style of setup. And I've tried to put Bolt Scott's setup in numerous times and I go slower. So, we have to branch out a little bit, try our own thing. But in the sense of the Mustang, we've hit the ground running. We rolled our cars out, they were fast. We've just sort of worked hard in the off season and maximised the package early on. So I think these Holden boys forget how good their car was last year.
Well, he was very good before.
Yeah.
Don't drag me. I thought he was a little bit too bloody good, to be honest. Yeah.
So we had to do a bit of work to our Falcon last year to get that up to speed, and they're in a similar boat this year. So it's a tough game, and the ball's always moving, and you've got to go with the ball.
Yep. Jane, you said before you don't want anyone to slow down. You just got to work hard. I mean, it was an interesting weekend watching you at Tailem Bends, which is a tricky racetrack. I mean, it's one of those places it throws out a lot of surprises. I mean, and we watched you guys spend a bit of time off the road, and I was talking to SVG about it, and he was like at a loss to understand some of the things that was going on with his car. We've come to expect the Red Bull Holden racing team over the years to fix things pretty quick. Is this one of the toughest periods of your career at the moment on trying to find that consistency, trying to find that space where you're comfortable to be able to be in control?
Yeah, just on the support thing. The funny thing is, I reckon I get more support over here than I do back in Oz.
Because you're a good bloke.
Yeah, well, the tall poppy syndrome is alive and well back at home, so I get plenty of abuse at the same time, along with the sport. So actually, rolling in the gates here, yeah, the fan base is fantastic. They're just here to watch a good old-fashioned motor race. But as far as our car performance, as Fab said, we had last year. If anything, we had a little advantage. Maybe that's the tides have turned, but what goes around comes around. It all goes up and down all over the place, and it all evens itself out at the end of the day. So we're trying to make our car faster. That's a great part about our sport. We don't just go out there, and it's not just about the driver. It's about working together as a team and a group of people, especially the engineers, and trying to bring a faster car to the track. And then when you're under pressure, when there's another team or two doing a really good job, you're trying to find something that potentially isn't there, which is a classic example of what we were doing last weekend. We're trying to find something that actually wasn't there, but it was fun trying. We ended up in the gravel. We mowed the grass a few times trying to get there, but it's all part of the fun, and we're slowly chipping away.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's from my point of view really interesting watching what's going on from a whole different perspective, and not looking without a bias on everything, and seeing what's been done before and judging it from what's been done before, and watching you guys achieve at the highest level and fix problems. And at the moment it's obviously a bit of a challenge. Fabs, we know that you do have a bit of a different driving style because you left foot brake, and I was lucky enough to actually have a couple of drives of yours and Scotty's cars the other day. I can guarantee you didn't learn anything from that because I was very slow, but I was very respectful at the same time. I was really interested just in the ergonomics, the changes, the differences, a couple of little things that are different between you two guys. And again, it's what you get used to. But I got into Scott's car and the gear shift was quite different to yours. The brake pedal was different to yours. With the enduros coming up, you want to.
Yeah, you actually went half a second quicker in car 17. What happened there?
I thought it was a second faster.
That weighs up to the race meeting too. Same for me when Scott's in it.
Yeah. Well, let's just be straight here. I'd never driven around that track before, and the more laps you do, the faster you go, Jamie. I don't know. Are you aware of this?
Yeah. Yeah, it normally takes a couple of laps, doesn't it?
It takes it when you're 47 years old, mate, and everyone on the day is reminding you it's your bloody birthday. You're very slow, especially in comparison to some of the other young blokes out there. Just enduro's coming up. All that stuff is really, really important. How's it going to go that the enduro drivers, albeit your one has been around for a little while, you're Tony Alberto, you know him very well, but jumping straight into the enduros with guys that haven't done a lot of laps in the supercar, it's going to be a pretty interesting Bathurst, isn't it? Straight out of the box.
Let's go back a couple of steps to respecting my car. You flat spotted a tyre on the inlet. No respect.
Craig Lowndes was behind me, and I thought he was going to dive on me, so I went deep, and it didn't work. You would have thought by now I'd be a little bit smarter. But young bloke, cold tyres, Babs.
And you thought you got away with it. No, but the enduros are going to be interesting. Normally we go to Sandown and you iron out all the little things that aren't quite right, with the seat belts, how the elastics work or whatever, and things like that. But we're not going to have that comfort this year. It's just going to be straight into Bathurst. Thankfully, Tony's done a few laps. He's done all our ride days. He's done the co-driver sessions when he's not been away racing in Japan, doing the 10 hours of Suzuka, and things like that. So it's going to be pretty full on. I think it's going to spice it up a little, because by Bathurst you've tuned your driver change practice up to the point where it's like normal, and it's you can do it in a reasonable time. But you're going to hop in there and you're going to do a few, and you're going to feel a little bit foreign. So. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bathurst, fun at the best of times. So, looking forward to the challenge.
And finally, I'll just go up. Still Pukekohe. Just give everyone here a bit of a comparison. I mean, because I know every driver loves coming here and driving this racetrack. So, what is that difference? I mean, it's a short little racetrack. It's got a lot of history and stuff, but what sort of gets you fired up about here versus maybe some of the other tracks that we go to?
Yeah, you've probably heard it all before, but this last section of the track is some of the best bit of road you'll drive on. It's a real couple of drivers' corners, hanging on, and the harder you push, the more you get out of the car and the faster you go. So this particular section is the best part of the lap. We used to go flat out down, round the kink into the hairpin, which was pretty gnarly. So we welcome the nice chicane. But every year we come here, there's always new improvements. There's a heap more resurfacing that's gone on in the last 12 months. Better safety as well. They improved the walls and the gravel traps and whatnot. So every year we come here, facilities are better, racetrack's better. We love coming back here, and I'm sure we will be for a long time to come.
And Fabs, I had, I don't know what I call it, to be honest, experience that I'll never forget a number of years ago. When you turned up out here, and I had my ride car out here, and it was suggested that I should jump in the passenger seat and let you drive me around. Would you like to talk everyone through that experience and how long it lasted?
I think it lasted about a lap and a half, and I've had Murphs, shouting from the passenger seat saying, "Mate, let's pit, I've had enough." So, I think I was driving your Porsche at the time.
In Australia.
Yeah, in Australia, and you could really attack those. You could be aggressive with the steering, and I hopped in the supercar and started swinging off the steering wheel like I did in that, and Murph couldn't hop out quick enough. So that was pretty funny. And then you had a pretty good experience with Scotty at the bend with the old handbrake too, didn't you?
I would much rather be in the driver's seat and have someone pull the handbrake on than ever drive with you again in a race car. One of the most terrifying things I've ever done. Oh no, he'll be good. Good young bloke. He'll take it easy. Half a lap. Get me out. Get me out. Terrified. He just was committed. So committed. And I was like, this is not going to last long. Anyway, good times. Anyone got any questions? Quickly from the floor before we move on. Anyone at all? It's for the boys. Well, that was easy. Wardy, would you like to get some tips of any descript about from any of the lads? We'll do that privately. Okay, don't worry.
So he's in his Fiji, mate.
Yeah, what's the team going to do? We're getting hammered. I think if we're getting hammered, 90% of the field are getting hammered. No, that's just the way it goes. As I said, we enjoyed a really good run for a long period of time. Nothing, you don't stay at the top. It's like footy, you don't stay at the top forever. Yeah, what goes around comes around. But looking forward to the challenge. It's not my first year in the category, so I really welcome the changes. Changing tyre and changing car setup and new tracks. New event formats and whatnot. So yeah, all the changes are good. So it's pretty fresh for us. Motivation's high, but we're chipping away. Hang in there. Don't leave us hanging. We'll be back at some stage.
Make it sound like it's easy, Woody.
Yeah.
If it was easy, everyone would do it. Anyone else?
Over your years racing, what is your favourite team to race for?
Obviously my current. Yeah. Obviously my current. I raced for Tasman Motorsport for a year. Gary Rogers for a year. Larry Perkins team, the Castrol team for a year as well. That was a real highlight of my life. Yeah, LP, he was a bit of a weapon actually. We did the contract negotiations as he was he's running the lathe. He was running the lathe, milling off a part, and he'd be chatting to me as he was running the lathe about whether I had a drive for the next race meeting or not. So, but no, obviously current team's fantastic. I'm a very proud shareholder of Triple Eight at the moment as well. So I'll be if you hate me, it's not good news. I'll be around the category for a lot longer than me driving behind the wheel.
I got to say, mate, it actually was it was very interesting to hear that you've gone into team ownership. I think you need rocks in your head, but anyway, whatever. Obviously, got too much money to throw around. Should have come and spoken to the rest of us first. Anyway, anyone else? Questions, wise? Oh, yeah? Oh, this one has to be for you.
No. Thanks for taking me here. Considering your current position in the championship with Bathurst coming up, and obviously co-driving with Master Wow, do you think that you're going to be able to push harder this year to get to the Bathurst win?
Yeah, that's a good call. We don't have this crazy championship fight on the line at Bathurst, so it's all in or nothing. Not that I've driven much differently the last 5-6 years. I think I've just gone all or nothing, so I'll adopt the same strategy. And I've got no. Everyone asks me about Bathurst. You know what? Do you have any regrets? And honestly, I'm being honest. I don't need to say this because everything I say is honest. But just it's the biggest event of the year. You've got to get absolutely hard. And I've had a bit of everything. I've had wheels fall off, and the safety car let me through one year, but then they decided they didn't let me through, and I got
red.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I got penalised for 2 cars running into each other behind me as well. Apparently that was my fault. So everything's sort of gone on up there in the last 10 years. So who knows what cards I'll be dealt this year, but it will be absolutely all or nothing. I won't go home wondering, that's for sure.
Would you buy a used car off Jamie Whincup? He's honest. He's serious. You've never had anything go wrong up there, have you? At Bathurst? No. Never.
No, I've had an absolute dream run.
Mr. Roly-Poly. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks to the boys. Well done. We can't wait to see you back here 2 weeks, believe it or not. You'll be here. Yep. This place will look completely different, and we look forward to seeing you all here. Huh?
It'll be raining.
No, it won't be. It's not going to be raining. Well, actually, now that I don't care about what happens on the races, all I do want is the odd sort of reasonably heavy shower, sort of at the right time in the race, which changes the strategy while they're all on slicks. That, for me, is television gold now. Absolutely. All right, thanks very much. Thanks, boys. Cheers.